Sean Hannity likes to have brain diarrhea on Twitter from time to time. He did that this week. Take a look at what he said about the Iranian nuclear agreement. Netanyahu drops a bombshell on Iran nuclear agreement. Then it's a link to his blog, and it says, Bibi's bombshell. Israeli Prime Minister has evidence of Iran violating nuclear deal. Then he said, watching the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, is like watching the Winston Churchill of our time. I like what Rania Kalik said in response to this. Look at what she said. Well, they're both colonizing murderers, so this works. Now, obviously, what Hannity was getting at was not the colonizing murderer part of it, but he was basically trying to say, like, okay, the thing everybody recognizes Winston Churchill was correct about is that Adolf Hitler and Nazi Germany represented an existential threat to everybody who wasn't a Nazi and every country that wasn't in favor of their ideology. So he was sounding the alarm about Hitler from early on and saying, listen, you can't appease this guy. And we learned that lesson the hard way with Neville Chamberlain thinking he appeased him, and then he didn't appease him, and then, you know, everybody knows the rest of the story. So that's the thing that everybody recognizes. Winston Churchill was right about that for sure. So in many circles, he's viewed as simply as the savior of the West. And they overlook the fucking colonizing murderer shit and all that. And they think, oh, savior of the West is what Winston Churchill is. Now, that means that what fucking Sean Hannity, dipshit Magoo here, is saying is Netanyahu is the modern day savior of the West. Why? Because just like Winston Churchill sounded the alarm about Nazis, Netanyahu is sounding the alarm about Iran. Imagine being so fucking stupid and having such a poor grasp of the geopolitical circumstance as it exists today that you think Iran is an existential threat to the West and not the other way around. I mean, I'm no fan of the Iranian theocracy, but you would have to be a level of ignorant, the likes of which I thought was not possible, to think that the Iranian government is the same kind of threat, presents the same kind of threat that fucking Nazi Germany at the time presented. Shut the fuck up, Sean. Shut the fuck up. Now, this goes into, what exactly is he referring to about Netanyahu? Netanyahu gave a goofy-ass speech where he was like, Iran violated the nuclear agreement. Iran violated the nuclear agreement. And he had a big fucking chart that said Iran lied. And he's like, oh, yeah, look, see, they lied. I put it in fucking Times New Roman so you know it's true. And what they don't tell you is, first and foremost, how the U.S. violated the nuclear agreement first. They never tell you that. Mainstream media doesn't tell you that. Even the Democrats don't tell you that. And obviously the Republicans don't tell you that. The U.S. violated the agreement by sanctioning them, when one of the only things we had to do under the agreement was not sanction them. That's all we had to do. Give them back their own money and not sanction them. And in return for that, they let the IAEA regulate their nukes. And they only let them enrich to a certain point for research and for power for their power grid. So we violated it first. Nobody talks about how we violated it first. And then everything they've done is tit for tat. Oh, you violated? Okay, here, we're going to do a fucking missile test. Now, it's not a nuclear missile test, but it's a missile test. And they go, violated the Iran deal. They violated the Iran deal. They violated the Iran deal. Yeah, asshole, you violated it first. They're going tit for tat with you. Now, again, I'm no fan of the Iranian government, but you have to call it like it is. You have to talk about the reality of the situation. So we get to violate it all the time, and they have to shut the fuck up about it. That's the rules according to Netanyahu and Donald Trump and Sean Hannity. And then, by the way, Trump always lies about the deal and says, we gave them billions of dollars. No. We gave them their own money back that we stole from them. They don't tell you that part. They just say, we gave them billions. And they make it seem like it's U.S. taxpayer money. That's simply not true. So Netanyahu and the neocons in the U.S. have from day one have been wanting regime change in Iran. And dumbass Sean Hannity apparently really is stupid enough to believe that these regime change imperialist lunatics really are just defending against the fucking all the offensive threats of Iran. Right, yeah. How many countries are we bombing right now? 8. How many is Iran bombing right now? 0. And by the way, they say, oh no, they're bombing Yemen. That's actually not true. There are Houthi rebels on the ground in Yemen, Shia rebels, but they're not Iranian rebels. They make that up. They say, no, that is what they are. So, listen, it's beyond silly to say Netanyahu is the Winston Churchill of our time. And when they try to say that there's evidence of a nuclear weapons program, that's not true. They present no evidence. They always do, oh, they have a nuclear weapons program. Really? Where's your evidence? Take my word on it. Nobody wants to fucking take your word on it. Remember, Netanyahu went to Congress before the Iraq war and said, listen, if you do regime change in Iraq, only good things will happen. So we're going to take this guy seriously on anything? On anything. There's been reporting over the past 5 years about how Netanyahu has wanted to offensively attack the Iranian government. He just bombed the Syrian government, and there were initial reports that a dozen Iranians were there. He bombed the Syrian government offensively, and nobody was like, oh my God, what are you doing? You're offensively bombing a country. You're the aggressor here. Nobody said that. The media didn't talk about that. They didn't discuss it. The Republicans didn't discuss it. The Democrats didn't discuss it. We all just accepted, like, yeah, Israel gets to bomb whoever they want for whatever reason, even though they're not under attack by Syria. So what we have here are warmongering, neocon, hawk administrations who are the ones who are starting wars, and then idiot, sycophantic propagandists like Hannity go out there and act like, oh, what a hero. He's such a hero by defending us against the current-day Nazi threat. They're not the current-day Nazi threat. We're not even acting defensively. The West is acting offensively. All the evidence shows this. But he's so far up the ass of the Republican Party and the Likud Party that he can't see straight. And he takes these fucking horrendous characters in history, twists them in his own mind to be heroes, and then proclaims it to the world as if he's not coming across like an ignorant buffoon.